Can't tell you that.
And are you hoping
But I get along with him. And you know what? The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. He has 57 very powerful nuclear weapons. Should have never allowed it to happen. They should have never allowed it. If I were president, I wouldn't have allowed it. But he's got them. I get along with him very well. I can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And I know Kim Jong Un very well, and he's going to be fine. As long as we have a smart president, he's going to be fine. If we have a dumb president, then he's probably not going to be so fine.
Are you expecting to meet with him later this year?
Yeah, I will be.
Mr. President, today is about American production. Can you give us any update on your negotiations with Canada for a trade deal?
Yeah, we had a very good conversation with the Prime Minister last night, and we've come to a deal with Canada. As you know, the 50% tariffs across the board were going on against Canada today, and they called yesterday and they gave us the points that we had to have. Very fair deal for both. The tariffs will be non-existent for our farmers. Our farmers were paying tremendous tariffs into Canada, and those tariffs are going to be totally eviscerated, down to zero.
Is the U.S. going to lower tariffs on Canadian autos or lumber?
We're doing certain things. We're got to give something, and we're doing certain things. They were paying a high number. We're reducing it a little bit. It's good for everybody. But our farmers are going to be thrilled. Our manufacturers are going to be thrilled. And basically, we have no tariffs going into Canada anymore. Canada was charging us tremendous tariffs. We no longer have any tariffs. And what I was able to do is we put, as you know, under the new tariff, I guess you'd call it the new tariff schedules that we came out with. They were going to get a 50% tariff on everything starting today. And we've held it back 3 days. It's all subject to finalization of documents. So subject to the finalization of documents, we have a deal with Canada, and I think it's a very good deal for both parties. It's great for our farmers. Our farmers will no longer be held up because they were being hurt very badly by Canada. Yeah. The Strait, last night we had a lot of boats come through. We have possession, complete control of the Strait. I mean, outside of nuisance value, and there is nuisance value when they shoot a drone every once in a while, and not everybody's going to go through, but they come through. And over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of oil coming out, a lot of oil. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a lot of oil coming out, a lot. In fact, people are amazed. One of the reasons that oil hasn't gone to like the proverbial $300 a barrel, it's at 83, 84, 85. And it'll be a lot lower when this is over because we have plenty of oil. But one of the reasons it never went into 3 and 350 numbers because we have a lot coming in. And people are finding alternatives too. And you know one of the alternatives? Texas. You know another one? Alaska, Louisiana. They're coming to the United States to get oil. And people say, oh, you shouldn't say that because it makes it sound, well, it is what it is. I mean, they're coming to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska to get oil.
Mr. President, when we have talks
about what?
Reopen negotiations.
Maybe at some point, but right now, I think the situation is so good, but maybe at some point. Look, it's very simple. They have to get rid of completely. They have to get rid of no nuclear weapons. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You know why? Because they'd use it, and we're not going to let them use it. So Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't. Thank you very much. I'm glad you came out. Thank you.
All right, so you were listening to President Trump there taking questions from reporters at the White House. He talked about hopefully at some point meeting with the leader of North Korea. And he also talked about this war with Iran, saying that at some point negotiations will resume. Let's bring in CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson for much more about this. Now, Ellie, we know earlier President Trump says there are no talks or conversations going on right now with Iran. So is there any avenue to peace here?
Well, Mugo, this week there's been apparently some mixed messaging because earlier this week, Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law and envoy, said that there are active conversations and that they're positive. But then President Trump says there are currently no talks. In the meantime, the UAE has accused Iran of launching 2 ballistic missiles this week, and attacks in the Strait of Hormuz have continued, with at least 5 this month. So far, the U.S. has not responded militarily, but is instead relying on the economic pressure campaign using this naval blockade, which could require some patience. The conflict is set this month to enter its 7th month, and this week, President President Trump appeared to vent some frustration by blaming U.S. longtime allies Oman and South Korea this week for the lack of progress in a war the U.S. started.
Yeah, so as you said, there it certainly seems like we're getting some mixed messaging from both the president and also people in his administration. Ellie, while we have you, what can you tell us about a memo circulating online offering re-enlistment incentives?
Yes, an Army unit in Georgia is offering an unusual incentive, offering soldiers who re-enlist a 4-day pass time off to play the Grand Theft Auto 6 game when it's released this November. The Army does offer incentives for recruiting and re-enlistment, like bonuses, college tuition, and sometimes choosing where they're stationed. But this incentive, we're told, was thought up by the unit's career counselor based on the interests of the soldiers. And already 20 of the 130 eligible active duty soldiers have chosen this incentive as part of their re-enlistment.
Wow, interesting. All right. Eleanor Watson, thank you so much for your time today. All right, we